How's it going, guys? I got an OU match for you here today, and I'm sorry about the late upload, but I've been busy all day, and I'm just now getting a chance to sit down and narrate this. But one thing before we get into this battle, I flopped my last two battles. The last one I had was against a guy by the name of X Digital Beam. This one is against MrRunningMonkeys. I am so sorry, you two, that I flopped up your battles. I feel really unprofessional for one, and two, it's not fair to you guys as well. They were the only two OU matches I had, so I just threw one in my Vegas track and went from there. But anyways, as you can see from the team preview, he doesn't have weather, and not only that, but he doesn't really have anything that will appreciate taking a hit from Keldeo. And the reason I brought Keldeo is because I've never used it, and I kind of just wanted to try it, so hey, let's get right into things. So he's going to lead out with his Latios, as I'm going to lead out with my Gliscor. And I don't even understand why I went for Protect first turn, just because it tells me nothing. I mean, he doesn't have damage, so I don't know if he's leftovers. I don't know if he's Life Orb because he didn't hit me, or Choiced, or Expert Belt. So I'm just going to go into my Tyranitar here, because A, Tyranitar does check Latios very well, and B, he doesn't have a Weather Inducer of his own. I figured this would be a very good time to get up my Sand as well. But he's just going to go for the HP Fire, most likely predicting me to bring in my Ferrothorn, seeing how Ferrothorn does resist Dragon Pulse. But anyways, I keep bringing the wrong Tyranitar, and this one does not have Pursuit. So instead of going for the Pursuit, I'm just going to go set up my Stealth Rocks here, figuring he would most likely want to switch out. And because he doesn't have a Weather Inducer of his own, I figured I might as well just leave this thing in for fodder. And not only that, but I didn't want this Gliscor, like, getting up subs and just being obnoxious, you know, what Gliscors do best. But I go for Ice Beam here, as he actually goes for the Swords Dance, which I was kind of surprised, because most offensive Gliscors, you know, they don't run Poison Heal. Now that Sandvale's banned, I guess you could run Hyper Cutter. But anyways, now I definitely have to leave in my T-Tar here as fodder, just because I don't want anything taking a +2 Earthquake. So T-Tar goes down, but this does give me an opportunity to bring in my Keldeo now. And this is a Choice Specs Keldeo. Again, like I said, I just wanted to try Keldeo. I've never used it before. And I'm just going to go for the HP Ice here, either if you want to stay in, or possibly switch out to Latios maybe. I would be able to nail that for a large amount of damage. But he finds a middle ground, and he ends up going into his Umbreon, and Umbreon takes that very well, considering I am, I believe, modest specs. But anyways, I don't want to stay in, obviously locked into HP Ice, knowing I'm not going to be able to do diddly to this thing. So I figured this would be a good time to go into my Scizor and maybe try to set up an SD. As he just goes for the Toxic, obviously because I am a Steel type, I can't get poisoned. And, you know, knowing Umbreon really cannot do anything to Scizor, like I said before, I am now able to get up a free Swords Dance, as he is going to switch into his own Gliscor to, probably as a Death Fodder, just to see if I am, like, Choice Band, or if I am SD, or maybe something else. But I'm sitting at +2 right now. I can definitely go for a Bullet Punch to take that thing out, knowing that he is an offensive build. And, yeah, this is a pretty big threat right now. I mean, +2 Life Orb, Dual Stab with Roost. Nothing to play around with, but he's going to bring in his Metagross now, as he is just going to go for the Hammer Arm here. And the unfortunate thing here is that he does land the crit, which kind of blows, because my Scizor won't be able to put in as much work as it could have. I mean, this thing could have definitely swept his team at this rate. But I am going to go for the Bug Bite here at +2 with Life Orb and Technician. I will definitely be able to take out that Metagross. And I will go down as well due to my own Life Orb recoil. But anyways, it is a double down. Rule of thumb is you're generally supposed to bring in your fastest poke, aka your Scarfer. But I want to bluff that my Keldeo is a Scarf Keldeo. So I'm just going to go right into it as he brings in his Terrakion. And because I am that guy and I predicted him to switch, I'm going to stay in, and I'm just going to go for a Surf just in case he did want to risk the speed tie. And as you can see, even Latios, who does resist that, does not take that Surf very well at all. But because I am specs, and I was, you know, kind of questioning whether a second one would be able to kill, I am just going to make a safe switch into my Ferrothorn here, as he is going to go for the Dragon Pulse. And I also switched out, you know, just in case he did have his other stab, whether it be Psyshock or Psychic. But here, I make a very risky play, because I know he has HP Fire. It's very obvious for me to switch, but what I'm going to do is I am going to stay in, and I am just going to try to get up a Leech Seed, because I figured if I can bring in my Terrakion safely somehow, I should be able to KO this thing with an X-Scizor. So that is exactly what happens, as he does go for the Recover. And this turn, I'm also going to make yet another risky play. I am going to predict him to go for the HP Fire, predicting me to want to stay in. And I am going to now bring in my Terrakion in hopes that he does that. And it works out very well for me. Again, that was an extremely risky play on my part to bring this thing in. But due to me getting up the Leech Seed a couple turns ago, or last turn I should say, I will be able to recover all the damage that I have just taken. And he stays in here, which, you know, I can't blame him. He didn't know what kind of Terrakion I was, and he learns the hard way by losing his Latios to an X-Scizor. So anyways, he's now going to bring in his Mamoswine, and obviously, if he locks himself into Earthquake, or if he goes for an Earthquake, I should say, he'll be able to finish me off because I'm locked into X-Scizor. I won't be doing that much. So I'm now going to go into my Ferrothorn here as he goes for the Earthquake. And I believe this is my physically defensive Ferrothorn. I don't remember. But because I don't see leftovers, because I don't see Life Orb Recoil, I'm guessing he is a Choice Banded Mamoswine. So I'm just going to leave in my Ferrothorn here as a fodder so I can get a safe switch into my Choice Specs Keldeo and destroy a couple lives right now. So, gonna go for a Secret Sword here just in case he did want to bring in his Umbreon again, thinking maybe he'd be able to take a Surf or something. So, Secret Sword with Specs, definitely enough to take out the Mamoswine, as he now is going to bring in his Terrakion. And I didn't know what kind of Terrakion this was, so I'm gonna stay in and risk it. And he goes for close combat here. Now, he outsped me, so this either means, 1, he is Choice Banded and there was a speed tie, or 2, he could be Scarfed Adamant, because Scarfed Jolly would actually not be able to KO me, I believe. So, that's kind of some information I've got in the back of my mind right now. But anyways, gonna go into my Gliscor knowing he's not gonna want to stay in with a Gliscor on the field, as I am going to predict him going out into his Umbreon, and I am gonna go for the U-turn. And this way I can get some momentum. I can go into my Choice Scarf Terrakion, and because my Terrakion is Jolly, even if his Terrakion is Choice Scarfed, I will be able to outspeed him just naturally because I am Jolly. So this is pretty much game over at this point. He can't outspeed me, and I can just lock myself into Sacred Sword here, and I will be able to take out his Umbreon. And next turn when he brings in Terrakion, that will also die to a Sacred Sword. So that is going to make the match in a 2-0 victory for me. So yeah, good game, MrRunningMonkeys. And X Digital Beam, again, I'm sorry I flopped your 2's matches. I feel really bad about that still. But anyways, for those of you asking about the VGC tutorial, I am working on that. I've been busy, but I have it all recorded and stuff. I just need to get some pretty pictures and some cool video clips of VGC stuff and just make it look all pretty, so that way when you guys watch it, you know, you will enjoy it. But anyways, I think that's all I have to say. So I hope you guys all have a good weekend, and I will see you all on Christmas Eve with a Christmas special with my boy Manshade. So be on the lookout for that. So until next time, guys, I will see you all later. Bye.